Arbaal time. So let's start this legendary campaign with Arbaal. It will be a cinematic campaign. Let me just show you a little bit of what it means in battles. So typically, this is what I will be doing. Overall, I'm going to be showing the animations really up close, as much cinematic as I can, and I'll still speak about the battle plan, don't worry, so you'll learn a little bit if that's the interest on my channel, so you learn a little bit on how to position and how I'm planning out the battle. But in essence, it's for you guys to admire the animations and to check what actually the units do. If you don't zoom in too much, I'll zoom in for you. In addition, I'll try to squeeze a little bit of extra information here and there, and at the same time I'll just simplify some of the decision making to ensure that I don't spend too much time on the decision making and you just see the action. So overall, that's the plan. So the conditions are very simple. What I'm going to do is just that cinematic style campaign. So Arbaal has access to the challenges of Khorne. He's great. He's one of the top 8 campaigns, even top 5 campaigns to conquer the whole map with. And he's very much based on non-demonic units. So of course that's the sort of style that we're going to go for. Now in addition, I'll have some specific challenges of my own. No lightning strike, no cheese. I'll try to avoid it as much as I can. Corner camp, that sort of idea. Okay, and as well, no settlement trading, because you can abuse that a little bit, so I won't have that. That's a little bit of how I typically like to play. He has the global recruitment duration -1 turn for all units, which is perfect. It synergizes really well with the challenges of Khorne. He even has this gaze of Khorne, the Fury of the Blood God ability, which is great, and then a lot of bonuses, of course, to Chaos Warriors, to Chosen, Chaos Knights, Skull Crushers. That's precisely how we're gonna use him. He starts here. Climate is kind of fine. Only uninhabitable is really magical forests, which is perfectly fine. We're gonna have everything checked up. Endgame difficulty on 200. I didn't set here, but I'll set up in a moment. Ultimate crisis mode. Okay, I wanted 120, 180. Yeah, triggered a long victory. So as soon as we obtain the long victory, then it will begin. And it's gonna be the Black Pyramid, Biggest Walk, Vampiric Ascension, and Vermintide. Mostly because I'm a little bit tired of the other ones. Next campaign, likely I'm gonna have those. So Grudge Too Far is one of the most difficult ones to deal with. The Wild Hunt as well, so yeah. AI stats modifier, it's all good. Do note this is no longer the beta, so yep. No longer the beta, but yep, let's set the Ultimate Crisis mode there. This is all set. Sometimes I hate that this is slider. Sometimes can be on a little bit reduced, so I'm just confirming. Yes, it is on the maximum. And let's start the campaign. Okay, first turn. So what we have to do is conquer this first province, and that is all about the ogres. We're gonna take them down. Then we have to be careful with Boris, with Malachi nearby, with Kislev, and of course with Astrogoth to the south. So this is not a difficult campaign because you have the tools for it, but you still have to contend with Tamur Khan, you still have to contend with a lot of enemies nearby, and still use the teleporting idea for the challenges of Khorne. Let's start by getting the Devotion's Tith, so income from post-battle loot, which I activated immediately so that it is already active during this first set of battles, so that I get to have the money that I need for my army. Let's fight the first battle, and let's use our Chaos Warriors against the enemy Gnoblers. The Halberds will attack the Ogre Bulls, and of course other units that are anti-large will always attack the Ogre Bulls. Against the Saber Tusk pack, I'm gonna send 2 of the Flesh Hounds, which should be more than enough, and of course my hero and lord against his enemy lord. Let's go. Enemy ogre army. Of course, it's not really an army, just an amalgam of units for us to kill. But still, some ogre balls that can cause some damage if you're not careful. Just make sure that you send your anti-large against them and all should be fine. Also make sure that your own anti-large is not tackled by the saber tusks or other ogre balls. One mistake I had, I could have had these guys on holding position so that they will resist the charge, but overall it was just fine. They can do it, they can handle it just really well. Let's watch the battle. It's sad that the Blood Shrine is not exactly the best unit, because it's super cool to see. Arbaal is also awesome fighting. He does a lot of damage really fast, and it's super tanky as well. And that's a victory for this first battle. Very easy, very straightforward. Just make sure you don't lose too much in the initial battles. Always pursuing the end, guys. That gives you a little bit more XP. And overall, we're going to take favor. I don't see the need for the army replenishment in the early game, so don't do it. You'll always have more than replenishment because Arbaal easily and the cultists easily get the skills for more replenishment, so I wouldn't recommend to you guys. Let's get the replenishment there. As you see, immediately is the first one that I pick. And we're gonna get Gift of Defiance. We really want to engage with a lot of armies initially, with a lot of battles, and that helps us with the post-battle loot. That's a little bit of a post-battle economy, if you wish. Let's have the second battle. Same principle. Get the halberds against the enemy bulls. And then against the other ogres, we're gonna send the skull takers. And we're gonna have just barely in range of the slingers, and that's when I'm gonna send everyone in. So yeah, let's watch the battle. This is when I'm shifting my halberds with the Chaos Warriors, so the Chaos Warriors attack the Nobblers. My cultist will also attack them. And 2 units of Hounds can definitely deal with 1 unit of Ogre Bulls, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. The enemy has the heal, which you should know it's always better for them. It gives them up to 25% or 30% more melee attack and weapon strength by standing on a higher ground. So be careful with that. Sometimes it's not just the charge, it's also the effect on their weapon strength and melee attack. But still, this is an army that we can deal and tackle even against them on the hill. A little bit of a hammer and anvil to set the army losses going and to make them retreat. And this unit is just there precisely for it, to try and ensure that the enemy starts routing, and once they do, they never stop routing. When you view them up close, it doesn't seem like the infantry actually has a chance because they're just flying, but they do a ton of damage against these ogre bulls. So yeah, they can handle, even your basic Chaos Warriors can handle, let alone the halberds can handle it. Always pursue in the end, guys. Gives you more XP, remember that. So a little bit more of Khorne's favor. This is necessary for the challenges of Khorne. We get some more skulls, and we're going to occupy this settlement. It's important that you occupy the first settlement, mainly because it's actually necessary for some of these rewards early on for the missions. Then you can just raise, and it's fine. Either raise for skulls or raise for blood hosts. For now, I'm not going to play too much into blood hosts, even though that's the strength or one of the strengths of Khorne. We're going to build into some Marauder Horsemen. I want those to ensure that we have at least some form of military that has ranged attack. And I'm just going to get some Chaos Warriors for now. Don't have a lot of income to do so, to do too much. But 3 Chaos Warriors feels fine. It's more than enough for the army that we're planning out for Arbaal. Speaking of which, this is the starting army to late game progression example. It's just an example. You can pause at this moment, but basically this is what I'm going to try to follow through. So once I complete some buildings, I'll upgrade to those units, and here on and here on. Okay, I'll be explaining them, but of course you'll be seeing me building the army precisely in accordance to that template. And let's have our third battle of the day, this time against an ogre camp, and let's fight it out on the battlefield. So we're going to form up a second line there so that we have at least entry on 2 places. This makes them split up their forces, and it's much easier for me. So we're going to have 2 basic locations. One I'll attack with my Skull Crushers, and the other one I'll attack with my Halberds. So of course leading with anti-large, because that's the strength of the ogres. So just make sure that you have an anti-large unit against them, and it should be fine. The Gorges are here, and they'll likely countercharge me, but they are no match for those Skull Crushers, even if the Skull Crushers don't charge them. Over here we have the Shrine helping out the Halberds, so there should be no problem, regardless of the fact that the enemy general is here, the enemy lord is here. I hope red is a favorite color of yours, because you're going to be seeing that for a long time in this campaign. Everyone just loves the color red in Khorne. I wonder why. May be related to Hemogoblin, who knows. I don't know if they know what it is, but if the Khorne faction doesn't know what Hemogoblin is, well, they do like their iron though, so yeah, that's nice. Give him some iron, boys. On the other flank, I just sent out my Flesh Hounds, and they're doing just fine, especially with Arbaal. He's good at clearing some hordes of goblins like this, or Gnoblars in this case, especially because of his ability that he has. That explosion is really nice to use. I think he's about to pop it. Well, even without it, his splash attacks are already very good. Yeah, I was writing it up, and that's enough actually to send them routing. So right now, lots of enemies that have been destroyed. This guy is just fighting. I'm trying to just surround him for quicker army losses, but overall I just need to surround the enemy units and they'll start to rout. Still plenty of time for my motorcycle dude to do some spins around. Come on. That's right. Do it. And yeah, that's army losses, and that's a victory. Third victory of the start, and let's not get army replenishment, just favor. I want to make sure that I can build up this army to a 20 stack as fast as possible and as close to what I wanted as possible. So overall, we're doing fine. We just need to capture this dwarf settlement that has been captured by the ogres. Let's liberate it for Khorne. We're getting some Marauder Horsemen with axes. They're really good. Armor piercing and fire damage, and also, of course, they fire whilst moving, so it's really an awesome unit to have, especially early game. Very versatile. We're gonna get Blood-Soaked Champions because it buffs almost all of my units here. So I want those units as good as they can be right from the start. No more income, no more money, but we're gonna try to get some deals to see if we can obtain some treaties. Did I click on quick deal? I didn't. How silly of me. So this gives me 300, and if I'm not mistaken, this gives me enough gold to get a hero. Do I have it? Yes, I believe so. So let's go. We want it in the Pillar of Skulls. And yeah, I can get the Exalted Hero. So Evil Eyeball, Ambush Defense Chance is always nice. Assault Garrison, the bonuses as infantry is cool. Flaming attacks and fire resistance, I don't find it too important. So I think Evil Eyeball will be the case. That bonus versus infantry is nice. But I don't like the assault units. Both of these are useful. So campaign line of sight and ambush defense chance, they're both intertwined. So yeah, I think so. At least that means Arbaal is going to have a little bit better defense against ambushes from here on thereafter. So, technology research, the gift of defiance, and we're going to attack Karak Dum. I managed to get some skulls, not enough to capture Karak Dum, but that will be with the automatic colonization idea from Khorne. If you do not know that, Khorne can raise, as long as they have one settlement in a province, they can raise everything else, and there's always a chance that the settlement would automatically become yours and devote themselves to Khorne, basically. So you can just keep raising settlements and they'll still join you. So that's excellent, and what we are doing there with the technology is already increasing that chance. Already it's quite high. We can actually add this hero. It doesn't say that it has the right amount of movement points, but it actually does. Look at that, see? I don't know if it's a bug or something, but that means I have an 18 stack of units ready to fight on this beautifully made dwarven settlement of the ogres. So it's a nice settlement, actually. Soon it will be ours. The ogres have a small garrison, well, a medium garrison, let's say, but they are all split up, so I'm gonna attack on all sides at the same time. This is without the beta, so the beta has ceased by now, but I didn't pre-record this or anything like that, just to make sure, so there's no development in progress at this moment. And that means we still have the same conditions, we still have the ladders, and it actually will benefit me greatly in this battle, because we can just engage and go easily. So we have 3 gates, and that's exactly where we're going to hit all 3 gates at the same time. So attacking with Arbaal, you already saw this, but moving with the infantry units towards the ladders, and on the other side just using the shrine and the cultist and the cavalry units together. They should do a great job there. Climbing up the ladders and finding nobblers. That's very, very easy for my Chaos Warriors here. Not a lot of incoming fire from my 2 horsemen. That's not their intended use, but still, it does help to get a little bit of casualties going while our troops get into the ladders and get to the walls. On the other side, the shrine has entered and immediately starts spinning. Yay, look how happy he is. I think they're really happy just to see all these ogres and go, yay, more for me. The Skull Crushers, this is an easy battle actually for them. They're not man-eaters or anywhere that could cause some trouble. So yeah, Arbaal is healer as well. He's a great ogre killer actually. He does a lot of damage. I think he almost one-shots... Yeah, he one-shots ogres. So whenever he hits and is successful, he actually kills one by one. So it's perfectly good to use him. Even that explosion does decent damage, or at least demoralizes the enemy. My halberds are in pursuit, having killed another unit. And overall this battle is very much underway. We have invaded all three. We still have plenty of shields, so there's no issues against those units that are firing against us. And over here he actually sent out the Lord, which is why all these units are surviving well. But still, it's too much. I could move them past at this moment and surround them, but at the same time they're almost dead, so why the point? I'm actually just sending a unit of halberds here, and as soon as they arrive very close, they're gonna start to rout, and that will create army losses for us. This is the army ability, by the way. So as you can see, a little bit more melee attack, which is perfect. It's exactly what you want from a Khorne ability, just to make sure that your units deal maximum damage there. And that's a victory. A fourth battle. I don't think I ever did 4 battles in one video, so, well, now I've done so. Khorne favor gained, and we have enough for a teleport. It costs 5. But yeah, we unlocked the challenges. We raised the settlement precisely because it has a chance, like I mentioned, to come back as a settlement for us. We're going to get 4 of those horsemen. I like to have a skirmishing vanguard, actually. It's always good. You can have different styles, of course. I just found that it would be a nice, entertaining style to have and to showcase a little bit of a different way. Eventually, I'll destroy that building and build it on the capital, but for now, it's all good. In terms of diplomacy, all that I can get is peace, and we're Khorne. Peace is not an option for us. We're gonna get very low on income, and now we have the challenges of Khorne. So overall, a series of battles that we can teleport to and travel to fight. I'm gonna decide and go against Malagor there. It could have been village or anything like that. And this is completely different from campaign to campaign. So while there are some typical targets that are chosen, it's still completely different from time to time, and certainly not as challenging as these challenges here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this campaign and you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Bye bye.